Avoid making these mistakes that I and many of my clients made, but instead do these. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Nancy Ace. I am a personal trainer, fitness instructor, Spartan, and health coach. And my job here is to help you get to your fitness health goal in a safe, effective, and efficient way in the least amount of time. In today's video, I am going to share with you the mistakes I made. I made many in my weight loss journey, but I'm going to share the 5 top that had the worst impact in my body and in my life. But I am also going to share with you what has helped me to move forward with this amazing weight loss journey. So without further ado, let's get into this. Mistake number 1. Overestimating how many calories I was burning during my exercise routine, therefore feeling entitled to eat or snack more. I was so hungry, especially at the beginning. All I wanted to do was eat after spending all the time at the fitness center, after doing the cardio and the strength and the cardio and the stretching. I spent so much time and all I wanted to do was compensate myself for sacrificing so much. I had to start changing the way I was viewing exercise. I looked at exercise more as a punishment and food as a reward. So, hey, I did all this, now I need a reward. Mistake number 2, trying trendy, popular diet. I learned my lesson the hard way. 15 years ago, we didn't have social media as much as we have it now. We barely started getting Facebook and YouTube. So I subscribed for magazines. I would get all these magazines and I would try the diets or the new popular thing that everyone was doing, or the supplement or this or that. I tried everything. And yes, some of them did work, but the way they made me feel was horrible. I developed headaches, or I felt bloated, I just felt tired, irritable. So there was something to it. And the results weren't sustainable. It was way too much to sacrifice. So I learned a lot. So instead, I decided one day to just stop doing all that. I put the scale away. I got rid of the magazines. I wasn't completely hiding my head under the sand, but I was determined to do it the right way. I went back to base. I grew up in Guatemala with fit, healthy women that didn't know anything about much. I mean, all they talked about was, raising the kids and this and that. But what do? They walked everywhere they went. They ate everything that was at the supermarket, starting with the vegetables, with the complex carbohydrates, the proteins, the healthy fat, and they were strong and healthy. I never heard them talking about, oh my gosh, I feel so heavy, I'm so fat, I need to lose weight. Never. So I had to go back to that lifestyle. They had a nutrient-rich diet that kept these women strong and healthy, that until now, my grandmother is 95, 96. She doesn't have any illnesses, let's say diabetes or high cholesterol, any of that. The thing that she does have is dementia, and I think that's a lack of omega-3s in their diets over there. Mistake number 3, focusing too much on the scale. Remember I told you I had to hide the scale? And I made the decision the day my daughter, my baby, she was about 2-3 years old, barely learning how to talk, and she said, "Mom, you're on that thing again? And now your clothes is off?" Yeah, I had taken my clothes off to see if I had gained ounces for the 2nd or 3rd time in the same day. That night, I cried so much. I felt so bad. As an example, as a mother, I decided to, instead of listening to the scale, I was gonna start listening to my body, and everything changed from there. Mistake number 4, having a cheat full day. Yes, you can have a cheat meal, but cheat day, all day, and I'm going to tell you why. If you plan your cheat meal, let's say you're having the fries, the hamburger, the soda, or the milkshake, and perhaps another small appetizer, calories can go up from 1,000 to 2,000 calories in one sitting. Would you want to repeat that again and again? Imagine that. And I did that before. I would have a full day of cheating, but it would take me days, sometimes weeks to recover. And that wasn't good for my body. But when I started doing that one cheat meal a day, that worked. Even though I would see a little difference. I would usually do it like on the weekend, and then on Monday I would feel a little bloated. But it would take me a day, 2 days to recover. And that was good for my metabolism and for my emotional, my mental life as well, to compensate myself here and there, right? We all want to make sure that we enjoy those foods. And if you enjoy burgers or pizza, whatever, enjoy it. Make sure that you don't do it all day. Mistake number 5, not practicing mindfulness. And yes, I'm talking about mindful eating, portion control, all those good things. But what I'm referring to here is being mindful throughout the day. One thing that I started paying attention to that I did often was eating my kids' leftovers. And that was because I grew up listening to, you gotta eat your food. Kids are dying in Africa. It's sacrilegious to do that. You don't throw food away. So I felt responsible to eat my kids' leftovers. And it felt good, right? I mean, who doesn't like to eat? Or another thing that I've noticed when I was cooking, I will be testing the food or kind of grabbing a bite or two from my partner's plate. All that counted. So when I became mindful throughout my day, I've noticed that I had bad eating habits. And I decided to let go of those habits, and I started developing better habits. So there you have them. Those are the 5 top mistakes I made, and I saw many of my clients making, but thankfully my mistakes helped them realize that they were making those mistakes, and they were able to stop those bad mistakes and move forward. Anyway, I just want to recap and tell you what you should be doing instead. And I wrote them down so that way I won't get out of subject or, start telling stories. Number 1, remember, exercise is not punishment. It's actually a compensation. When you are able to move your joints, to stand up, you're blessed. So many people are not able to do that. So compensate yourself with exercise after sitting for long periods of time, or after just dealing with stressful situation. Compensate your body with some creative movement, with dancing, with lifting weights, whatever you're into. And food is definitely not a reward. Food is nourishment. Nourish your body right. That was 1, right? Instead of doing that, do this. Number 2, stop popular diets and start studying yourself. Start loving your body. Learn what type of body you have, and I'm going to leave a link on the description down below, so that way you can know how much food or how much of each food group you should be having, depending on your body type. So it's important to know that as well. Number 3, hide the scale. I say use it once a week. That's what I would do with my clients that were starting any program. We would start them, weighing them, measuring them once a week, but then it was twice a week, and then it was once a month. You don't have to be doing it all the time. Just at the beginning, I would do it just for them to see how they were progressing, and for me to realize why they were not losing the weight. I needed to figure out whether they were following the guideline, the nutrition guideline I was giving them. Anyway, it was just for me to realize things. All right, number 4, please no more cheat full days. Avoid just going wild all day with food. Instead, enjoy an intentional, meaningful, delicious cheat meal. Sit down and enjoy it. But know that you cannot do that again and again and again, okay? All right, and last but not least, of course, is practicing mindfulness. I share a little bit about the bad habits, and I developed good habits. Like 1, instead of testing and filling my stomach with food before my meals, I decided to have a little bit of sparkling water, a little bit of flavored sparkling water, a little bit of that, or I would have tea and sweeten it with stevia. So I do develop habits like drinking more water, or instead of eating my kids' food, I got to a point where after getting a bite of their food or the leftover foods, I would just spit it. I said, what are you doing? So thank God I stopped the bad habit too, putting food and then spitting that was bad. But I had to get to that point to realize that I had to stop. So become mindful, be aware of what you're doing that is not helping you, and instead develop habits that are going to help you move forward with your fitness health goal. It was a pleasure for me to be here with you today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking, sharing, ringing the bell. If you haven't, go ahead and do that so you'll be the first one to get hold of these videos to share, okay? Not only to do it yourself, which is awesome, go ahead and do it, but also to help others as well. So until then, take good care of yourself. I love you all. See you next time.